Ready? Your training will be split into 3 stages. We'll start with blade work. You're no rookie in this. During your long journey, you've no doubt sparred with a lot of talented sword fighters.
You bet! There's Kaya, Master Jean, Kuching. Oh, and Kazuha. You sparred with a bunch of them too, right?
Don't get too smug. In sword fighting, techniques alone are not enough. You need a cohesive system. To use the human body as an analogy, your style is your skeleton, the foundation, the framework. Improving your sword fighting is like growing that body. If your frame got bigger and taller, but you didn't add any muscle mass, you'd be weak and flimsy. Then again, if you packed on pounds of flesh without a big enough frame to support, you need to do some introspection. Take a good, hard look at your past experiences and figure out which parts of what you... Only then will you get the full utility out of all your thoughts and observations along the way.
Wait, is that it? Paimon thought you were gonna teach him some cool new moves. Like when you went...
One day, you'll reach a new level of power where you realize that even that's as basic a trick as any other. But right now, there are no shortcuts in the That's all I have to say. Time... Now focus. Destroy the crystal columns as swiftly as you can.
This is making Paimon's head spin. Hang in there, traveler!
Stay calm. Use your head. You have to keep it together.
This moment will be frozen in time.
Cut to the chase.
Consider a moment of true mastery that you've witnessed in another person, and ask yourself, what lies beneath the surface? What's their guiding philosophy? What's their state of mind as they... Now take that and practice it right away with speed, skill, and strength, over and over, until your hand is won.
Step on up. Dance with the waves.
If you start to tire, empty your mind, but do not stop. Stay in that frame of mind as you keep up the fight. Get rid of all redundant movements. Imagine your sword is an extension of your own body.
'Twas on a deserted, moonlit night that the hero approached the vile dragon's limpid lair. Rain Cutter! Feathers fleeting wet, the white heron treads water, a sight without flaw. Master of Inazuma Kamisato art Tachijutsu.
Looks like you've made some real progress.
Awesome! Paimon knew you could do it!
How do you feel? As you should be. Time flies when you're training hard. You've actually been going for several days now.
Yeah, meanwhile, Paimon's had a whole bunch of naps. But
Go get some sleep. I'll be doing the same very soon. Let's hope you see that foggy place in...
Skirk, why are you skipping classes again?
'Cause he's a crabby old man, and he's a
Excuse me! You shouldn't
All right, let's not get into a big fight about this. Skirk's learned what she needs. There's no point forcing her to sit through more classes, but I'd still love to hear about what you got up to yesterday.
I went diving, and I saw this huge fish. I never knew they could get that big. It looked kinda dumb, though, with that. Oh, and today, I'm gonna go to that prairie up north. There's supposed to be this giant bird there that can spit fire. I bet...
Then I suppose your old dad should get one as a pet too. Otherwise, how are you gonna—
When it's time to eat, I'll come back on my own, Zilly. Anyway, gotta go.
Wait! Put on a coat at least, you'll catch a cold! You spoil that child, you know. Ever since that merchant ship arrived, she practically lived—
let the kid do what makes her happy. Besides, we both know you're all bark and no bite. Come on.
The stars shimmer high above, mountains as far as the eye can see. An endless snowy plain? Or maybe Bill can't be the only one asking these questions. The universe is fascinating. I'm sick of being a kid. But for now, I'm...
Don't let a single one of them get away!
No, please, spare the children! Stay back!
They're coming!
Run!
Help!
Eliminate the threat.
Take them down!
Don't be scared.
This way!
We'll never make it!
Fire. There's fire everywhere.
I told you we shouldn't have trusted these outsiders!
Why are you doing this? What did we do? We welcomed you with our finest food and drink. Showed you the best our home has to offer. Gifted you cloth dyed by our own hand.
Run! Save yourselves!
Captain, Zone 3 is clear and we have Zone 2.
Begin extermination. Remember the orders from upper command.
Rest assured, sir. We have enough munitions to annihilate these savages in birth.
Good. The only ones who put up a real fight are that man and his wife, correct?
We shot the man in the ankles and the wife broke her wrist attempting to fight back. They won't be doing much more fighting. To prevent them from making some kind of last stand, we're planning to clear out the other zones first so we can...
Well. Turns out some of these beasts do know how to use their claws. Now the threat these... Let them cling to what's left of their lives for a little longer.
Skirk, you're all right?
I'm so happy to see you, sweet girl. But you need to go. It isn't safe.
What happened? You're bleeding.
This is the place.
Run, Skirk! Run as far away as your dad and I. We're not afraid to stare death in the face, but my clever girl, so curious. You're already so brave. I know you're going to grow up to be such a...
Whenever you miss us, remember, life is a gift.
Break down the door! Look what we have here. You! Stop singing! Shut it! I said shut it or I'll make you! Fine.
I found a few clues while you were asleep, but it's only a start. Now, time for this. This time, the focus is elemental energy. Come find me when...
Man, staying in the abyss feels so... No day and no night. It's like time hardly exists. Well, except for the fact that Paimon still gets hungry like clockwork.
The way I see it, the pursuit of power is divided into 3 stages. The first is mastering the use of standard weapons. Next is learning how to harness natural energy. And after that, you're free to challenge even higher dimensions. The natural energy of Tevat is, of course, elemental energy. But that's not my area of expertise. I draw from a different source of power. Abyssal power, yes. Also known as the power of the Void Realm. My master, Sertologi, is a true expert in that area. After all, he was one of the group of 5 that infamously stole the all-encompassing power of the Abyss. An act for which the people of Conria gave them the epithet, the 5 Sinners. The elemental energy of Tevat, on the other hand, is derived from the power of the Light Realm. These 2 forms of energy exist in direct opposition to each other. Suffice to say, there's not much I can teach you this time. A keen call it respecting local norms. The Abyss stands in direct conflict with the will of this world. So, to make my life easier, I disguise my power to make it appear. It's a technique I learned from some Conrian ruins, known as the 7 Shifting Serpent. If you ever change your mind about delving into abyssal power, I can teach it to you. So I've heard. You seem to have a knack, but is purification really what's going on there? Like I said, power, just thinking out loud. Let's focus on your element. True growth comes from adversity, but only if you make the choice to pick yourself up again every time. So, it's time to push yourself to the limit, and then keep pushing. Use the power of Animo to clear the field as fast as you can.
Wind Blade! Disappear! Wind Blade!
Observe your surroundings. Look for things you can use to tilt the scales of success in your favor.
Wind Blade! Wind Blade! Wind Blade! Disappear!
Use the power of Hydro to destroy the spikes. Faster. Don't give them a chance to strike you. You need to be quicker than you were in your dream. You can't afford another injury like that.
Go! Water jet! Go! Go!
You need to understand what makes you special. The ability to wield elemental energy without a vision and switch between the elements. It means your aspirations need no approval from the gods. Your power is... so be bold. Do not be afraid to chart your... Very good. It seems you've reached a deeper level of connection with the element, long enough for you to lose yourself in your training, which is a good sign. Relentless practice with the elements has drained all your strength. Get some rest. When you wake... If you wish to master the elements at a fundamental level, you must see the entire natural world.
What is the secret to power? Longing. Hate the fear of losing those you love. The fear of watching your home burn. Fear is the source of evolution. It forces humanity to adapt to their environment and overcome hardship. It is in the process of prevailing over our fears that fear is now part of you. Any minute spent missing home is a minute wasted. Practice.
But, Master, I can barely lift the sword anymore.
So it has not broken yet. Then pick up your sword and keep practicing until it breaks. I want to hear the cracking and splintering of. After all, bone. Good, Skirk. Once again.
Cold.
These are signs that you are adapting. Each time the flesh is torn and the spirit crushed. I now understand why these people sought to destroy your homeland. Your potential. But you still have much to learn in your pursuit of strength. Your mind is rife with distraction. You must learn to shut out all the pointless emotion. Crush the self that makes you weak. Get up, Skirk. Wipe the blood off your face. Cut away the rotten parts of your flesh. And mend what is broken.
Hopefully you got some good rest. Skirk said to tell you that she's ready to start the final stage of the... So, wanna head over now?
From your training so far, you have gained better command of the sword, and more control over your... That's only part of it. Experience is the real teacher. Your journey, the friend... Now, it's time to focus on how you react under pressure. You must be able to think rationally, even in unpredictable combat situations. To simulate this, I'm going... Ready? Not bad. That defensive stance looked just like your sister. That reminds...
Hey, no fair!
You think every opponent has the same moral code as you? You can denounce their deplorable methods all you want. But only if you live to tell the tale. The dead don't. Strong emotions will always arise in combat. Anxiety, anger, fear. But a true warrior is never at their whim. Only when you are free from the influence of emotion can you make the right... How amusing. Oh, but you don't. Let's begin. Try to use reason over emotion. Make the most rational and This is your final training session. Look alive. Same drill as before, but this time I'm going to interfere. Hold your focus.
Go! Go! Water jet! Go! Water jet!
Not bad. Better than I expected. You're getting the hang of it. The first step to controlling your emotions is controlling your mind. You want a unified train of thought.
Your mind is rife with distractions. From now on, you must learn to shut out all the pointless emotion. Crush the self that makes you weak.
Stop. Let's pause here. One look, and I can tell your mind. That's to be expected. There's a limit to how long a human being can concentrate on one thing. Staying calm and focused sounds simple in theory, but in practice... Get some rest. No point training further if you're already dead on your feet. Like I said at the beginning, the only goal of you managed to push past your limits, which is a good start. You can be proud of that.
Skirk is amazing. She faced down that terrifying giant and cut...
She got hurt though, didn't she?
Yeah, well, that's a given. But the moment she was on the mend, I heard Master suffered a grave injury once too. Lost an arm and a leg and still came back stronger than ever.
Incredible. I wonder if I'll ever reach their level. They're all...
Pathetic. You're not even trying. You're so much weaker than you think.
Skirk, have you become a positive light and...
Do you even remember how many of us perished in that fire? How many bodies were left to...
Keep your gaze fixed on your blade. You don't deserve...
I have so many questions. I just want to jump in a spaceship, explore the whole universe, and get answers from the stars.
Now, you must bid farewell to who you were in the past and become someone strong.
Run! Skirk! Run! Only death...
Let's see here. First things first, you going around telling people you're from somewhere beyond the stars won't do, now will it? How about saying, as the Conrian saying goes, venturing out into the universe and down into the abyss are the same in that both are braving...
Well, I'm a visitor on this planet.
Ah, splendid. That saves me quite a bit of trouble. Let me offer you a piece of advice in return. Although it might not be what you want to hear. I know the pursuit of strength is important to you, but taking a moment for yourself every... Ignore her existence for too long, and there will come a day when you...
Be starving, right? Ta-da! A barbecue feast just for you. Of course you are. That's why Skirk and Paimon got this all ready. Ah, well, if you're around someone long enough, it's bound to happen. Plus, Skirk can cook. So, Paimon decided she can forget the whole Ice Queen thing. Paimon's not one to hold...
Here's an idea. Let's save the chit...
Okay, it's Paimon's turn to sleep.
I have good news. First, your training is complete. You have what it takes to wield immense power. Now it's just a matter of putting it into practice. Second, I've located the culprit we've been searching for. Next, we just need to retrieve the missing part of your soul, and our business will be concluded. When Ajax trained with me, he once told me he was bursting with questions. You and I might never meet again, traveler. So if there's anything you want to ask me... Okay, not the angle I was expecting. I knew that was a possible side effect. Closed off my mind to you for that exact... Even with the dream mirroring, you should have seen nothing but... Whatever. Must have been a flaw in my execution. I shouldn't be too surprised. Since you've seen what you've seen, there's no reason to hide the truth. No, I'm not from Teyvat. I'm from a different planet. And there was a time when No, we're different in that respect. You're in... Several hundred years ago, my master, Sotologi, opened the border between worlds and sent me here. But this is not my home. And one day, I'll return to the vast unknown of space. To become stronger. For certain reasons, I need to bridge the power gap between me and my master as quickly as possible. But first, I need to understand. To do that, I need to follow in his footsteps. Walk the path he once walked. And somewhere along the way, I'll find out how to defeat him. Okay.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk, but it's been years now, and I've still...
Well... Ajax, his situation is different than yours. Before you ever crossed paths with me, you'd already encountered many... So, during your training, all I had to do was build upon that foundation. But Ajax was so young when he came to me. Children can't help but imitate their role models. In the long run, once Ajax has enough strength in his own right, I will allow us to meet again. Until then, let that motivate him. Unlike you, I have no desire to establish a connection with the world. The weak and the... Wake up your companion. Oh, and everything I just told you. Best...
Time to go. Oh, finally. Where are we headed?
Just follow me. I'll open an abyssal rift close to the culprit's location. It will take us to where he's hiding.
All time, bro! Wait. This is near...
Yes. If we enter from here, we'll be able to reach that place from your dream. You have some experience with abyssal domains by now, but still, this is some...
Don't worry. Paimon's an expert at hiding behind other people. Oh, but, that means you need to stay safe, traveler.
All right. Remember your training.
Wipe out! Go! Yeah! Go!
Whoa! Look at all these spikes! Careful! Don't get hit! You know what? Paimon's just gonna float behind you. Come on, you got this.
bombs away!
Hey, what are you two doing? Dusty, like an abandoned house. Let's press on.
Go!
Start! Merciless. Merciless.
Oh, looks like this is a dead end. Did we make it to his hiding place? Ugh, this fog is making it impossible to see anything!
This should be the place where you were attacked, Traveler. The missing part of your soul should be nearby. Our opponent must have covered his...
Hold on! Look! The spikes are...
Stay calm. Let's hold back a little. Give our enemy some wiggle room so we can see what we're doing. Our enemy took part of your soul for a reason. It's likely he integrated it into his attack somehow. If we're smart... From the start, the attacks have been focused on me. Trying to break through my defenses? I see. There. I got it back.
Traveler! Skirk! What happened? It looked like Skirk just got...
In the Gwali Plains, you asked me why this... Now, the answer is clear. It's not just the fact that your strength is impressive. It's also because of your ability to, as you put it, whatever that actually means. The fact is, that ability allowed him to do something that should have been completely impossible. Namely, break through my defenses and steal my power. No, he couldn't have known I'd come to his domain. He only stole your soul fragment because he knew the value of its power. I doubt he expected it to... Call it fate, if you want. I believe that's the term they use in this world for arbitrary coincidence. In any case, it works to our advantage. Once I realized what he was using that power for, it gave me the chance to get back what you lost. I'll cope. Well, done gorging? Good. Time to answer some questions. How did you get the power of the all-devouring narwhal?
The all-devouring narwhal? Oh, of course! Paimon knew that spike thing looked familiar. It looked...
I highly doubt you acquired that power through your own strength. Tell me I'm wrong. You're desperate enough to scour the land for god remains and whatever vestiges of power you can find. That alone proves you wouldn't be able to defeat a creature like... Which leaves one possibility. You know my master, the Foul, Sir—
The Foul? Who dares call him foul?
What's wrong? Bit off more power than you can chew? You're
just a
Look! It's back!
Those obsessed with power will let it devour them before abandoning their pursuit. Keep calm and use reason to decide the best— Wise decision. Final victory doesn't always come after you've got your soul fragment back, so we both got what we came for. Let the enemy draw— Get us out of here, Traveler. You'll need to lead the way—
Skirk, is your shoulder gonna be okay?
The wound is minor. It'll heal in no time. You should focus on getting out of here alive instead.
Uh-oh! Falling spikes! Run! Watch out! Looks like this place is about to collapse! So, this guy's power has something to do with the all-devouring narwhal. Did you know that all along, Skirk?
I had my suspicions. That's why I decided to investigate. I no longer sense his presence. Can't have followed us out of that abyssal domain. Weaklings like him will find that my power is not so easily controlled. He won't be leaving that place until he's managed to digest it. You seem surprised. I suppose that's fair. You've seen but a fraction of what that whale is capable of. That gaping maw could swallow a planet. It's called the all-devouring narwhal for a reason. Devouring is what it does best. It can extract power from anything, dead or alive.
Yeah. When we had our run-in with that thing, Neverlet mentioned—
Your dragon friend recognized the nature of its abilities and used the power of Hydro to protect you. That worked because it was in a satiated state, so it was somewhat less aggressive than usual. It's a different story when it has no more power to feed off of. That's when its true voracious nature kicks in. It could devour everything on the planet in that state, which is why I cast it into that— But I hadn't counted on there being anyone left on this planet capable of wielding its power. To me, that says he must have encountered the whale a long time ago. Meaning, he must have known my master. Exactly. It told me everything I needed to know. Hence why I said we— And I believe that brings our transaction to an end. Now that you're whole again, you can get back to your own journey. I'll handle the rest of this situation myself.
No way! We can't leave now! Something was stolen from you because of us!
This isn't my first taste of failure or losing power. When you fall—
But what if that monster finds you before you're all— Plus, how are you gonna get home? It's not like you can just go swoosh and open a door to the abyss again. So, sticking with us for the time being doesn't sound so bad, does it?
Fair enough. Then take this. The bag of Mora. Nothing in this world is free. I'll leave the planning to you. Hurry up and decide.
We should take Skirk somewhere she can rest. But where? Paimon gets the feelings.
Bring it!
Madam Skirk has a ton of more. Does she have a job or something? Wait, no. After what we saw at Wamin Restaurant, that seems impossible. Can you imagine? I'll be collecting my paycheck now, boss. Oh, sure thing. Wait, who are you? Can't hold a job if you make everyone forget about you. So, what did she do to get all this Mora?
Claimed some buried treasure, took care of a few monsters that were causing trouble. Nothing untoward. It's...
You heard all that?
A sonorous voice like yours is hard to miss. I wouldn't be surprised if the sound of it traveled to the nearest...
Then, did you by chance happen to hear Paimon's little...
You mean when you called me Frosty the Lavender Melon?
No, sorry. Paimon totally misspoke just now. She didn't say that at all. It was, a Paimon lookalike. Yeah, she's a piece of work, that one. Always impersonating Paimon and giving people weird... Okay, fine. The truth is, Paimon didn't like you all that much at the start. But things are different now. You helped the Traveler in a big way, so... What do you say?
I noticed there was only one bed.
Wait, what if...
I don't get tired, and I don't need rest. I'm going to practice my sword work. That should help.
But your shoulder... Hey, don't just leave! Whatever. Let her tire herself out. Let's get some sleep, Traveler.
Quiet.
Do you even remember how many of us perished in that fire? How many bodies were left to rot on the scorched earth? Yet you alone live on.
Keep your gaze fixed on your blade.
Run! Skirk! Run!
Getting an early night's sleep is the best. Wait, Skirk? Have you been sitting out here?
About 60%.
Whoa! Paimon thought it would take at least...
No, not fast enough. That's 20% less than last time. Same training regimen, same intensity. Nothing felt different, but somehow... No, I think that I need to meditate for the next 2 days. Deep introspection should help me find the issue.
Ooh, sounds intense.
Thanks.
Skirk is still meditating, huh? It's been 2 days already. Paimon can't think of anything we can do to help. Be right back.
That's right. This is Skirk's inner world. This isn't your first time here, but what you remember is probably a space covered in darkness. Actually, I only managed to break free and bring you here because the injury weakened her power. I guess I'll call it fate, if you want. Now, before I take you to her, I gotta ask. You're the first outside visitor to ever come here, so what's your impression of this place? Oh, you noticed. This river represents Skirk's strength. Strength accumulates over time. It is the summation of a person's lived experience. So this river is where all the fragments of Skirk's life should converge into a single stream of memories and emotions. But, as you can see, this river has been severed numerous times. And all she sees reflected in the river is a disgraceful shadow of who she was. She cuts through water and rock with the sword.
You must learn to shut out all the pointless emotion.
This isn't my first taste of failure or losing power.
The answer to one mystery invites another question, I see. Let's follow the river upstream. There among the cliffs, among the memories etched into her heart, lies the truth of it all. Soon... I've always thought that, even when falling leaves don't come from the same tree, they can still form bonds of kinship when they, like meteors. You both made a journey through the stars. Both travelers who have landed on a planet that is not your home. Yet, when she first noticed your presence, although she hesitated for a moment, seems like you've answered your own question. Skirk sees herself as a trespasser in this world. She's made a conscious choice to avoid altering its path. But the reason for that decision stems from events much earlier on in her life. Let's keep going.
You now have what it takes to wield immense power. No one can become a worthy warrior through imitation alone. I have given you fangs and claws. Now...
You wish me to travel the world beyond on my own, Master?
Indeed. Make new friends. Embark on your own journey. And piece together we will still have contact through the abyss. But know this. One day, I will take the life you worked so hard to rebuild and reduce it to ashes. Just like the fire that...
Why?
I have told you before. Fear is the catalyst for... You have tasted loss. You have known fear. But as living beings, we all have an instinct to detach from that which harms us. And thus, pain dampens over time, and the acrid taste of fear becomes but a distant memory. Yet now, I have bestowed upon you the gift of fear eternal. It will drown you in the nightmare of your childhood.
That is what Skirk's master, the foul Sertologi, looked like at one point in time. Of course, As a higher being, physical form is a triviality. He could appear as a beast, a human, or even a monster that defies description. The form you see him in here, clad in abyssal armor, is the one he usually wears.
For certain reasons, I need to bridge the power gap between me and my master as quickly as possible. To do that, I need to follow in his footsteps, walk the path he once walked, and somewhere along the way,
I'll let you in on a little secret. The scope of his power is impossible to understand until you experience it firsthand. Show... We've made it quite a ways already. This is Skirk. When she first
I have set your broken wrist. Tomorrow, you're to train. No tears this time. Good. Attempting to garner...
Can I ask a question, Master? I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time.
I saved you because I have a plan for you. It has been too long since I fought a battle that demanded my full strength, and I hunger for it. Every so-called genius and prodigy I have faced so, I will teach you everything I know.
But I don't want to draw my sword.
What you want matters little. Among the boundless sea of stars, the cries of the weak are but faint murmurs that disappear into the void.
Yes, Master.
From that day forward, all she knew was grueling training. And after some time, her talent bloomed, and she gained control. It was not that human emotion disappeared from her heart, but that reason came to dictate all she was allowed to feel. I suppose it was at this point that she became the... We're nearly... I almost don't want to reach the end. Well... These are Skirk's happiest. What a simple and carefree time it was. Wisps of clouds dotted the sky. The sun bathed everything in golden light. And when song filled the air, not even the shot. This is Skirk's homeland. She was so curious about everything. There was so much to discover. The treasures at the bottom of the sea. The secrets beyond the stars. And that it was a spaceship. When it arrived, the people that disembarked wore smiles on their faces and spoke of friendship. They claimed to be merchants from a neighboring... Skirk's parents, her relatives, her neighbors. Everyone welcomed the newcomer. No one had any idea of what was to come. Several months later, an army of unknown origin arrived without warning and carried out a ruthless campaign to destroy everything. Skirk had skipped school that day, like so many times before, so she was not caught in the immediate wave of destruction. But when she came home that day, only fire and ruin, and countless people cried out to her for help. People she knew and loved. Friends and relatives. The little girl who lived next door. The shop owner with the bad leg. The bad-tempered teacher she had made fun of. Just their lives were discarded like worthless trash as the fire consumed one life after another. If Sertology hadn't been there in that moment, the fire would have claimed her life too. And there she would have remained, left to rot in the scorched earth. Because she and her people were seen as a threat. As the initial merchant ship explored the planet, they discovered that it hadn't always had the condition to support life. Yet there was evidence of human. Further research revealed that, over time, the people of this planet had evolved the ability to adapt to any type of environment, or for that reason, the outsiders viewed them as a potential threat, and decided to eliminate them before the threat could rear its head. Senseless, isn't it? Deemed a threat because of a gift they didn't even know they had. Perhaps it was their own innocence, and if those with power get to decide good and evil, then all you can trust in is the sword in your hand. And so, before death could claim her, no one wants to relive their most painful moments. Skirk is waiting over there. Let's go to her. It's time to fulfill.
So all this, just so you could...
I have things to say to you. I want someone to witness our reconciliation, even if it takes an argument to get there. And he is the best choice in this moment. Her suppressed emotional self. The version of herself she keeps locked in the recesses of her mind. All those rejected impulses. Those discarded aspects of your past selves. I am who you used to be. Someone you have refused to face for too long. So?
You're wrong. I've faced you all along. Your existence makes me weak. Moments of joy and longing are when we are most felt. Don't forget, it was a penchant for goodness over reason that doomed our homeland in the first place. The vastness of the universe renders everything insignificant. Our feelings most of all.
Even so, learning from the mistakes of the past doesn't have to mean erasing everything. Strip yourself of your so-called weaknesses, emotions like kindness and empathy, and what makes you any different?
The difference is that I'm doing what is right. I allow you to exist, but with limited freedom. I've shouldered everything you couldn't carry. I rose above the numbness and emptiness, and it was cold, unfeeling reason that brought me this far. It made me who I am. It made me strong.
That is the problem. I want to shoulder those things on the grand scale of the entire universe. Maybe our feelings are vanishingly small, but why should that mean they don't matter? Emotion gives warmth to the cold expanse of space. It gives meaning to the world around us. Think back to those nights of gazing at the stars, those afternoons of exploring the unknown. Think back, and let them grant you peace. A brief respite from the pressure you put on your...
That isn't what we need.
It's exactly what we need. Aren't you curious about why recovering your strength has taken longer?
Finally, you get to the important part. That is the only answer.
And look around. Look at your... You cast aside your dreams and curiosity. And in doing so, you lost your original motivation. You severed all connection to who you used to be, so you can no longer draw strength. Now, the only things driving you forward are fear and survivor's guilt. But these cannot take...
And you think that means I should seek help from a weak little thing like you?
thank you for saying that. I knew bringing you... To be honest, I'm not here to argue with you. This isn't about who's right or wrong. And in fact, I agree that in order to make it through the wake of that tragedy, we had to But what is right at one point in time isn't always right forever. I know you will never forget that fire. I know the fact that you were the sole survivor fills you with guilt. And I know that among the voices that haunt you, mine is there too. Because deep down, you know that you didn't turn out to be the person. All those unfulfilled hopes are like knives to the heart. And I don't want you to hurt anymore. So even if you can't accept me, I hope at least...
I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died.
Your dad and I, we're not afraid to stare death in the face, but we need you.
I'm sick of being a kid. There's so many amazing things out there, and I'm ready to see them all.
I remember. There was a song Mom and Dad always sang when we went out to fetch water. Dancing water. The sand along your path is begging for your song and movement. Well, I am not the dancing water, and you are not the burdensome sand. But if...
Thank you.
I should be thanking...
Run, Skirk, run! Remember, leave no one alive!
Heed my words, Skirk. Let fear take root in your soul.
Did you survive? Why was it only you?
Skirk, did you become a positive light in this world?
Hey, this doesn't have to be the end. Life is a gift. Don't let darkness claim it.
So, you saw my memories then. I once asked my master if survival of the strongest was the law of the universe. He said no. But in a world without order, those with no moral boundaries tend to be the ones who survive. That's why, after hearing his answer, an idea that, one day, I would create a new world order. One in which there would never be another tragedy like that fire. One in which power was not the law of the land, but that means I must defeat him. Because my master, Sertologi, is, at the core, a defier of all rules and order. Yes, and not just because of the gap in our abilities, but also because, although his decision to train me was not made out of kindness, He did everything a master should. He saved my life, taught me the sword and the principles of strength. I know, and it's not something I want. But Master never goes back on his... He's no longer into that. But he sends me messages through the abyss every now and then. Most of them are simple greetings, or an answer. Every time I hear from him, my heart skips a beat. And I wonder if this is the moment where he'll finally appear before me and tear down everything I've built to pieces. Maybe that means I do live in eternal fear, just like he said. Yes, I respect him, but I'm also afraid of him. And for that reason, the pursuit of strength consumes every moment of my life. I don't know what Master has planned, but I have to be ready. Help me? Why?
Oh, you're fine! Honestly, Paimon was gone for like 2 seconds and then she comes back and finds you both unconscious? Oh, you're both okay.
What does it look like? Only water from the source can cleanse the rot and filth that flows from the past into the future. I taught you to incorporate the experiences from your journey into how you fight. I suppose what happened today will be...
Okay, so, but whatever. Paimon brought back tons of
All right, it's about time
We're gonna deal with this thief for good, right?
This time, I'm not going to tell you to hold back. But having digested even more power in the meantime, he's going to be tougher than... The good news is, we have no reason to pull our punches this time. So, let's go.
Wait, isn't that the form the all-devouring narwhal changed into? How come he knows that? Really? So, you're telling Paimon that giant whale and this guy can both turn into the fowl?
It's a subconscious instinct. Any intelligent being who longs for his level of strength is bound to mimic his appearance. To them, he represents ultimate power. We know the person before us has encountered Master, and we know he stole a portion of my power.
Okay. Oh, Nervalette isn't here this time, so it's up to us. He won't have the nerve to steal again after we're done with him.
Wipe out!
Into the void!
Haven't forgotten your training, I hope. Mine to wield.
Beyond this world.
Go!
Haven't had enough of my power. Well then, let's see how much more of this power you can handle. Well, have you come to...
You saw that my body was at its limit. Such power. Such...
Skirk. Certology.
How long has it been? How long has he been away from Tevat?
Hundreds of years.
Hundreds? Sorry. It's a lot to take in. I should introduce myself. I am Skafnungar, a friend of your master, and one of his This is the first time I've heard your name, Skirk. But hundreds of years ago,
Hundred? Sounds like you and Master have quite the history.
Of course. Might as well take I was born into a noble family in Conria. As the eldest son, I was set to inherit our title. But I contracted an incurable illness. I trained the sword harder than anyone else, defeated all of my peers. But it was all in vain. When other people, over time, my heart hardened. We were similar in age, but different in background. He was born in prison, the son of criminals who had been... Yet, he always wore a smile on his face, as if... I still remember what he said to me when we first met. You need to fight to survive. Even if it's a losing battle, it should light a fire under you. How can you sit back like this and go down without a fight?
That does sound like something he would say.
He was the first to acknowledge that I was worth something, and he inspired me to keep going. When we sparred together, it was the first time I'd actually felt the thrill of combat. When I was 10, he stole forbidden research materials and managed to cure my illness. It was like there was nothing in this world he couldn't accomplish when it came to the human form. But somewhere along the way, after his grand endeavor was successful.
This planet no longer holds anything of interest to me, so I'm leaving. But first, I have an offer. I can use a power. Your death was once what we worked so hard to prevent. But the immortality...
I'll pass. Immortality doesn't sound so bad to me. Since I can't die, it means I have an infinite amount of time to get
Are you sure? I cannot say when I will return.
All I can do is
wise indeed. Nevertheless, if you grow weary of the pain of immortality...
Disciple?
Nor I. But Vedifenir said I was destined to find a disciple out there in the universe. You know as well as I, Vedifenir's prophecies are...
Well...
All Vedifenir said was that one day, the stars shall bow in her...
Sounds...
Of course. Only the most outstanding people would have the right to become my disciple.
Still selfish.
I'll be leaving then. Oh, and if you are serious about getting stronger, I left you a little gift in the primordial sea. As I've said before.
Waiting for me in the primordial sea was the all-devouring narwhal, already beaten into submission by Sertologi. In its weakened state.
Your heart? That sounds like torture.
Because, of course,
So, you used the curse to turn yourself into a vessel for... Even with that whale's ability, devouring power like that is not something the human body can withstand. With your body and soul constantly at the breaking point. But that is not the path to strength. You have to pour your heart into it, work for it, dream of it.
You're right. I should have known better, but... I had already... I miss your master. I miss the days when we were all together, troublemakers without...
After the beating we just gave you, I think we can...
Sertologi's disciple. That's a lot to live up to. I know what he's like. He rules with an iron fist, using despair and fear to force you to catch up. We're like mountain climbers in the dark, never knowing how much higher we are.
True. But I made up my mind long ago. No matter. Besides, after hearing your story, I suspect what Master really wants is not a battle that...
Oh?
Since you're his friend, you must... First time we came here, when you stabbed me through the fog and stole my power, I felt no emotion coming from that spike. But when you had to devote all your strength fighting me just now, I could feel joy and... It was the joy of a researcher discovering the truth of the world.
Interesting. I'm certain I didn't express those... You're right. That battle brought me an unbridled...
Exactly. I think one where his opponent forces him to use all his strength, unlock the extent of his potential, after which all can come to an end. For that very reason, good and evil are meaningless to him. He has one purpose, one goal.
Perhaps you're right. What a battle that would be.
Are you okay?
Too many different kinds of power are surging through. I won't be able to hold on to my sanity for much longer. Sertologi once offered to free me from this curse.
I can, but not through death. It's not a suitable punishment for your crime. As an alternative, I can take your consciousness. The impurities will dissipate, and under the curse of immortality, your mind and body will regenerate. When that process is complete, but it will be a time-consuming and painful process.
I accept. I have faith that you'll be able... If we are climbers in the dark, it appears... At least, it looks like...
I will reach the top of this mountain, and you, Skofnunger, will be my witness. At the end of...
That's finally over. Let's get out of here. Huh! At least we don't have to make a mad... Once again, we've proved there's nothing we can't... Wow, you sound even more... Today sure went by fast. It's night already. Oh wait, that reminds Paimon.
Yes. The power Skirk stole has been...
Great! Huh, it's crazy that you even noticed their light was gone. There are so many...
I suppose it's because... the false stars hanging in the meticulously planned sky. It's not real. And yet, it is for that very reason that I can look upon it and enjoy them. Even the most beautiful of bubbles has to burst. We will return to the real universe. Time marches ever forward. Even the innocent and naive will taste life's bitterness. Yet through hardship, we grow, though we gaze upon a false sky. Its vastness and majesty is palpable. One can only wonder, what is it going to take for kindness to reign supreme in the vast expanse of the universe?
Ugh, this is all going over Paimon's head. But if she knows one thing, it's that the traveler always finds a way. Ever since we met, he has filled Paimon's days with happiness. No matter how tough things get, he always finds a way to make it better. If it's too big a job for one person, then we'll do it with two. And if two's still not enough, then three. We've met so many amazing friends and accomplished so...
I suppose when it comes to you, well, I should be going. Now that my power is no longer isolated from my emotions, I need more practice. I suppose fate will decide. Maybe we'll bump into each other on the street. Regardless, reunions and partings are but passing moments. More than anything, one without war, pain, or forced partings. One where new life can bloom. For this, we must all work. Goodbye, traveler. Remember your training. Make sure...
Bye! Is it just Paimon, or is she being nicer than before? We definitely count as friends after... Hey! What do you think about camping here tonight? There's nothing quite like sleeping under the stars. Come tomorrow, we can continue our journey. Oh!